Chris Salvador with a script review, which is something that I've never done. I usually do 10-part reviews for movies when they already exist and they're long out already and nobody cares. That I want to do a screenplay review for a movie that's in production now, Inglorious Basterds, Quentin Tarantino's long famed, illustrious movie that World War II movie that's been in production since Pulp Fiction. I think since he's wanted to do it since Pulp Fiction and probably way before then. So this was like I said, this was something that the script got leaked on the internet, and I found it on one of these on Scribd or something. I went to Scribd and they had it up, so it was up and I read it, and it's the official draft. So it's up. I won't spoil any of the big surprises. So don't worry. This will be I'll advise. I'll talk about something and then you can stop, but I won't spoil anything. So, well, what did I think? The first thing I'll note is that this movie is completely minimal. And I mean that in a good way, and that's not a bad, like from what I read and from the draft, this is the latest draft. Hopefully things change in the shooting draft. Things always get inevitably cut. From what I gathered, I was like, okay, here's my first reactions. When I read other people's reviews of it, and then I was like, uh-oh. I thought that this was going to be I thought Inglorious Basterds was going to be like the original Inglorious Basterds, and you were going to see the hottest actors, like Ocean's 11. This was going to be like an Ocean's 11 where you were going to have the biggest, Sylvester Stallone, Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte, this guy, I think, Mickey Rourke. I thought you were going to have like 15 to 20 soldiers, and it was going to be about them fighting, Nazis. So I was so surprised to find out, and happy to find out that it's not that it's not, Ocean's, not that I hate Ocean's franchise, it's great, but it's not a bunch of Hollywood superstar celebrities being cast. From what I saw on IMDb, the cast list, Brad Pitt's the only big name. He's playing Lieutenant Aldo, so he's the only big name in the movie. Well, there's Eli Roth is in it, and Sam Levin, Mike Myers, and probably Quentin Tarantino will be in it. He'll probably find a way to be in it, but maybe he'll play the farmer. I don't know, in the beginning. I don't know, but basically, it's I thought, like I said, I was thinking, like, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I'm going to go through it. There'll be a review, I'm sorry. But, basically, I was glad to find out that, because, when you see all the interviews that he's done over the years, he said that this was one of the hardest things he had to write, and it was so big, and he kept putting so many bigger things in it, and it was this huge thing that I was expecting, like with Richard Kelly, Southland Tales, I was expecting this gigantic, convoluted, there would be this giant thing here, I was expecting that, commandos have to bring a giant crane or something, the cranes probably didn't even exist then, but you know what I mean, like dynamite cranes and things, and barbed wire, chainsaw, like I was expecting, like, super, like this giant crazy melee of insanity, and it's not that, and I was glad. It's this simple, it's simple. It's very, I don't know, there's a lot of Sergio Leone. I think he's trying to do something like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and those kind of movies, the Once Upon a Time in the West, the Western, and it's surprisingly, like I said, it's minimal. So, if 10 years have done anything, I'm glad that it's small. I'm glad there's nothing as big as the the Crazy 88's battle in Kill Bill. There's nothing in here that I was like, the Crazy 88 Nazis. That, you know, it wasn't. It's really. I liked what I read. That I was like, okay, I like it because it's simple. It's split up into like 5 chapters, kind of like Kill Bill, and it's very. It's like I said. There's a minimalness to it that people. I don't mean it's, you know, Mystic River or something, a Clint Eastwood minimal, but it's if you were expecting this huge, if you're expecting Saving Private Ryan, you know, World War II battle storming, you're not going to get that. There really is no battle in this. It's more like it's kind of, it's like if you've seen The Professional, Leon, The Professional, it's a little bit like that sensibility. That it's a little more simpler, kind of like just kind of revenge tale, and it just so happens that these and also a kind of bridge over the river Kwai kind of simplicity, that it's like even though there's an epicness to those, it was really small in a sense. Like it's not really about, you know, Tropic Thunder. Is going to have much bigger and action set pieces than I think this movie's going to have, and I mean that's a good thing, and I think people are going to be surprised by that aspect of it, that they're going to expect that there's this hugeness to it, and if you look at The Good, the Bad, the Ugly,